Tonight is Saturday. I'm on my laptop. The one the Acer I rebuilt. Oh wow. Why does this not load? I couldn't record Flash. Well, I'm at Flash. I mean, I couldn't record anything on it for some reason. I was getting noise, but I have to turn off the cooling fan. Let me see if this works. Some of you saying that you can't download quick CPU from their site. I don't. I know sometimes that site has issues. So this is how it's running now. If I put the fan on, it drops down 10 degrees. Let's see. Uh, oh. So we have 8 gigs installed. 7 gig is free. With the swap file makes it 10 gig. What's that bad? I mean, with this laptop, you can play World of Tank Blitz. No problem. No, nothing. Never had a problem. Well, I did. I mean, but since I fixed the CPU and put the silver on to keep it cool, those problems. And it was what was happening is you lose control of the tank, it wouldn't move, and it's kind of weird. Yeah, this is 1.70. This processor, like we all know already, we can upgrade it. I can upgrade it to 2.0 or 2.4. Would it be worth it? That's a different story. it's a even though it's a Celeron backwards mean no release. That's what an engineer told me from Intel. But it's really basically an Intel 3 processor. So something on it didn't work. So instead of them throwing it away, they resell it. And that's what they do. Anyway, that's this. It should stick. Now it'll stick. Alright, so okay, so what I want to talk about is my router. I found out yesterday the router just stopped. It's like it had to do a reboot because the router was on the cloud network from Google. Yeah, Google. You had to use first it was Google Wi-Fi. It was easy to set it up. Then Google said you had to use Google Home. Then it got completely gone crazy. So basically, all the updates went through Google. Everything was Google, Google, Google. I had more problems with that router because now we're not using that router because it'd be dangerous to use it with no support from Google. So basically, the router would be like a router, but you couldn't access it. There's no web interface for it because it's cloud based. It's designed for cloud. Only two of those types were made. One for TP-Link and the other one was for ASUS. I had the TP-Link version. Good thing I didn't buy a second one for an access point. I'd be screwed. I mean, it'll work, but not work efficiently. That's a dual core. That was a dual. It's considered a jet stream, so it's like well, it's not managed ports, but it was designed. It was designed to last, and that's what it did. It lasts. It's a 19. It's an AC 1900, which would be equivalent to. It would actually almost give you well, let's see, a 2000 AC 2000 would give you approximately, but then my math right, it'll come out to almost 2000. I mean 2000. No, 2018 would be 1200, 1200. So that would be maybe it'd be 1060. I'd have to do some math on that. Is that something? That's what it is supposed to come out to. You never get the true speeds as they say they claim. Like for instance, a 1350, the top that Wi-Fi on that would be 800 and 800 either 898. I think I get around 868 with that. That's the best you're gonna get out of 5 gigahertz. Yeah, which is not too bad. That's a lot better than you know a 100, and also a gig. But see, that's if you're gonna get that, because a gig would only give you a gig LAN port would only give you 600. Uh, the 2.5s you're looking at about what they come out to be. 2000 is 1200. So the 5 would be 2.5. It should come out to be six. I don't know. A 2.5. That's not 500. So that would be uh could be so it'd be like 1,200 and I'm just trying to figure out. It might be 1,206 or it depends because a 60. Let's see, 100. It would be 100. It would be 2.5. It's five. If it's 500, then it would be equivalent to. Let's see. It might be. Let's see. 100 would be 10. Yeah. So it'd be like 1.250. It depends. I have to do the math. That's out of my head. Um, if you're lucky to get that speed, if you're lucky, you know. My thing is, I was thinking about the so I have what 1,200, so that's equivalent to 720. With the router that I had before it died, I was getting 600, but my ports can only go up to 1 gig, which is really 600. So I was getting close to that. Even though I had Cat 6 running on those. I have Cat 6 coming from the modem to the router, from the router to the switch. And everything is managed except for the the, the 12 antennas and the 12 preamps in that Jetstream all-in-one router, gig router type 3.0. It had a lot of features in it. Don't get me wrong, but it get hot. I took off the cover. I know it's stylish, trendy, but unfortunately, it was designed so it'd be easy to set up. But you still have to change the DNS. The DNS is the problem. I see a lot of people have uh, what's it, A guard DNS, but I wouldn't install that. I wouldn't run that from your computer. I would run it from you know, IP4, IP4 primary server, IP4 secondary server, IP6 primary server, and IP6 secondary server. Run it that way as your DNS to change your IP. No, so what that would do, that would block all ads. You wouldn't see no ads on nothing in the house. No ads on your browsers. Not and it actually goes one step beyond. I don't want to say what else it does. You will have to see for yourself. So if you have the on Android TV, you'd be surprised what happens on that. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. So anything that runs ads, it's supposed to be gone. And tracker cookies. I ran Super Spyware. I did a video on that here, and I ran I ran it, and I got 3 tracking cookies. That's it. Before I would have more than that, but I don't know if that was before I did that or after. I have to try to see. But that's not bad. But see, I'm going back to my other router. I have I have a business router, managed router, and I can go in there and it has URL blocking, where you can actually put certain URLs in there, and you can block all the ads if you wanted to. You know, but it's a lot. It's a list. The problem with that is you can only do so much, because if you do too much, then it runs slow. So it's only a limited number it can handle. I mean, it has 512 of RAM, DDR3, where the other one I had 1 gig of RAM. It had must be DDR3 as well. I can't remember. There's not much information on this spec. I know it was dual core. The NPU, it had a true NPU in there, like this one does. Um, but it doesn't get hot like the other one does. But this is a wired router. When the router is doing the wired and it's doing the wireless, it's a lot of work. That's why you have to buy good quality. You can't buy a little cheap plastic. You got to buy something like a business class. But to be in the business, they have it so you have a wired router and you have access points on the ceiling. You have power over Ethernet. So power over Ethernet with either have an injector, or you have a separate switch that says PoE on it, and that plugs in, and you plug all the wireless access point over the Ethernet. There's no such power going in it. It's using the Ethernet cable as power over ether. That's what PoE said, power over ether. So that's how that works. So, but if you don't have that box, then it comes with injectors, and you plug the injector in the wall. So from the access point, you plug it in, and then the other secondary plug plugs back into your switch, and that's how that works. That works all right, but then you have to run two separate power supplies. Now, if you have the PoE switch, you don't have to do all of that. You just plug it in and just plug the devices into that. You're supposed to get a wireless controller, which is another module. It's pretty expensive. So that module controls the wireless access points, so they get the right amount of feed, and it just manages it better than having your router do all of that. Because without that, then the router and the switch would have to do it, and you don't really want the congestion. So to have a smooth running system, that's what you would do if you start to notice issues with the Wi-Fi. But a lot of people don't go into that. I know TP-Link have a little good system, but I never did get it because it wasn't a gig. If the access points are gig ports, why would I put 10100? It wouldn't make no sense. Dude, they do have a gig one now, a gig wireless controller. Wireless controller has to be plugged into a switch, managed. So if you have everything managed and everything right, then you have a good system in house. You have your own NAS, you store your files and everything. You don't store things on your laptop. Well, if you're gonna store stuff on your laptop, you should use the micro SD card, a fast one, or you would use a full SD card, whichever your laptop came with, and create a download when you're offline, when you're not near your network, and download to that. And then when you get back home, you just send it up to your NAS. That's the way you should do it. That's how businesses do it. You should have the same kind of way. And I know it's costly. If you got several computers in the house, so you're doing your resume, you're gonna save it. Don't save it to the computer. If the computer hits a virus, then you're screwed. Now, even I know some of you might have Microsoft 365, and you get 1 terabyte storage, and you can save all your files on there. It automatically saves, so you don't really have to worry. But and then if you go on the road, you can access the file, and you would do away saying, "Gee, I don't need a NAS. What do I need a NAS for?" Well, that's true. You don't need a NAS. But if you want to access your data, but with the cloud storage allows you to access your data anywhere, and it follows you wherever you go. And sometimes it's always good to have a hard connection. Of course, you can take a portable hard drive, a copy of your storage with you. That's if you want to do that. But, that's one way of considering doing it that way. So, how much speed do you need for downloading? How much speed do you need for uploading? Should you get fiber? Should you stick with cable? Is fiber better? Fiber is a lot. I don't know if I mentioned this before. I used to work for Frontier Communications. I'm not promoting them, but I used to be in technical support. So if you had problems with your hardware, I would be the person you talk to. They trained us for a month, so I kind of got the grasp on fiber optical. Okay, so that ONT, that ONT is the heart of the whole system. It's a box that has a backup unit, it has a fuse, and a lot of the times, and most of the calls are based on that box going bad. Box could be up in your attic. Box could be in the garage. Box could be outside. And that, like I said, that battery backup unit go bad, you're screwed because all your information, all your settings, and everything is in that system. So the backup battery, it always goes bad. It would be neat if you can hook up to solar and put a lithium-ion battery in there. And yeah, you could do that. And then you'd have to get an MPP controller, and then you would have to mount it in the box, and it would keep the battery fully charged. So you wouldn't have that problem. That's a nice suggestion. But I can't tell a client to do that. I could what I could do for them. I could send dispatch, which dispatch him new equipment without paying for it. That was pretty good. Made a lot of friends that way. I had people invite me over to their house. I know, but I was too far away. You never know who's on the other end of that phone call. But yeah, but that's how it was. So would I recommend fiber? Well, yeah. Now you have you have AT&T. AT&T before was using proprietary system. It wasn't true fiber. I guess now they are using it. They install fiber in the area here. I never get to talk to the tech. I would ask them some questions, but sometimes they don't want to. They don't have the answers. So what happened? Verizon had the fiber, and Verizon sold most of the technology to Frontier Communications, and AT&T tried to make their own proprietary system. Uh, then you have Earthlink. Earthlink. I had him on the phone. I was thinking of using Earthlink, and he's telling me they're not an ISP. They're just renting um, AT&T. So you better off going with AT&T than Earthlink because you would save some money. So they have different packages. I think it goes up to 5,000 megabytes, which would be equivalent to it'd be equivalent to 5G, yeah, 5 gig, 5 gigabytes. That's a lot. You pay a lot for that too. That's like, well, it's cheaper than Xfinity. Xfinity wants 300. Um, Ether EarthNet wants 189. It's almost 200, and I think it's 179 from AT&T. We gotta remember you gotta add tax with that too. If it's just strictly Ether, it's this tax, whatever price it is. If you have TV and all that stuff from it, then you have to pay more. What else I wanted to say? Oh yes, yeah. You have to rent the. You have to rent the equipment. It's gonna cost you $12 plus tax. You're looking at 13. So let's say 189. So it'd be almost close to $200. Maybe a little bit more because you might gotta pay wherever you live that tax, the city tax, the government. They all have to get their little tax money. So you pay more for that. So that's a lot of money. 1,000 with 1,000 do for you? It could. It's cheaper, but tax and everything would be close to 100. Um, so I was able to switch my Giga Extra plan to the fiber from Xfinity. I wanted to test it out. So I saw 100 megabytes faster when doing that. Even though I don't have the box and everything, it did boost it up a little quicker. But like I said, if you keep everything cool, the modem, the router. Well, if you have a business router, you don't have to worry about it. They don't overheat. That they don't. Well, the way their cooling system is a little lot different than a typical router, and the switches as well take a heavy beating. But if you want to, it's better to cool. So you cool your devices with, like I say, a turbo cooling fan, and this cool that place. Or if you got the money, build a closet and stick all and get a rack and you put it in there and keep it refrigerated. Keep it cool and your equipment will last longer. You wouldn't have that Wi-Fi degradation after time. It degrades. Not much you can do about it because that's the way it is. It's not made to last. All right. So, like I said, speed wise, Cable TV goes up to what? Well, for Comcast it goes up to the 1200. After that you have 1000. After that you have 800. I think after that it's 5. But they don't want you using the lower speeds. They want you using the 1200 speed. If you have CSP with them, cell phone service, then you get a discount off that package. But if you want unlimited data, because they cut you off at the TD's 1.2 terabyte, yeah, something like that. So you have to you could buy unlimited. It's gonna cost you 30, 25 if you get their box or their mesh system. They'll do that. Save $5 a month. That's monthly courses. So, but you could, if it's offered, you might as well just get the whole thing and buy it outright and hook it up yourself and save a lot of money. That's what a lot of people do. But, those are the options. Earthlink, they're expensive. Customer service is good. They don't push you, but you gotta remember, they're not really an ISP. You better go with an ISP to work better. Makes life easier. What else I want to say? So, okay, so should you buy Google Mesh Wi-Fi? Well, I wouldn't. Yeah, well, I'm being honest because now I'm cut off. I can't use something I bought to improve the network in the house. I don't know if it really did improve it. Maybe the Wi-Fi was strong, and I could drive away from my house, and the Wi-Fi was really strong. I could go down the block before it would cut off. Now, with the access points, well, the access points they're made differently. I mean, that's all they do. They provide access, either 2.5 or 5 gigahertz. They could do beam transforming. They have a lot of features on there, and you can set up it up to run at full power. Because they're business, they're more like managed. You can actually, control them better than you control a regular router at home. They just make everything automatic. You really don't want automatic. You want to control it because it's better to do it that way. Just like your computer. Imagine your computer was all automatic and all you had to do is just install the software and that's it. And didn't have to tweet nothing. But we are Windows users and we like to tweet. That's why we have Wise Game Booster and Wise 365 to tweak that system, make it run better, and keep the SSD running at max performance. It has its own tweaks and stuff like that. That's all I use. I don't use nothing else. That's all. Oh yeah, and spyware, anti-spyware. If I need to make sure I don't track your cookies on. You know what I downloaded here. I'll show you. Oof. I downloaded this. This is called Brave. Oh, I don't want to load that. If I close it out. Well, no, that's my other channel. No, I think that's a default, so I just have to type in. Well, see, it's funny. The way this comes here, this comes with Brave Shield. I guess it comes with also cookie. This is, oh, won't activate. Man, yeah, let me try something here. Albert's Voice Tech. This is how it looks. I think they're using the same kind of system as. Well, I don't know. I don't know much about them. It was on the top list. Oh, see, a lot of features. You can block scripts, upgrade to connections to HTTP, block trackers, and ad. Well, that's what AdGuard Home does. Well, AdGuard Home has VPN. If you don't need VPN, you can get AdGuard. I mean, sorry, not AdGuard. AdGuard DNS, and that will block trackers and ads and everything. They actually go to the games as well. I mean, you could try it out on your router. I mean, Just make sure you knew what your DNS settings was before that. You should either write that down or save it. So this is what this does. It's not bad. You can filter, but this comes built in. You don't need a third-party software. And this is so this is what my channel looks like. We are over Ethernet, not Wi-Fi. So it's pretty fast. Oh, I did remember I had posted something to speed up YouTube because it was hosing. It's what they're using for, well, can't really say too much, but it's something they use, and that's how the whole system works. I'll just say that much. And that's why, because with the other router, I was experiencing slowness, and now we're not using the other router, and we changed the DNS. It's much quicker now. Let's put it that way. Yeah, you'll understand when you do it yourself. Time goes by. That's it. A lot of you now looking at this. You should run this on your computer. It's free. Run it on your computer and see how many tracking cookies. You got to get rid of those tracking cookies before you can switch your DNS. Otherwise, they'll stay on the machine and they'll call back home. So you don't want that stuff on your machine. So you want to clean out your machine with super anti-spyware. And because Windows is not blocking those tracking cookies and ads. You know that they're not blocking it. Windows 11, yeah. That's why YS 365 can capture some of that stuff, but it can't get all of it. That's where you need this free program. This is free. The free works with. The only difference between this and the pay, it's always running. But sometimes you don't want it always running because it can hose down the system. It can have false traits. You have to be careful with that stuff. Just letting you know. The Windows 11 tips, that covers the update for Windows 365 and some other stuff in there. I forgot exactly what that. That's not a bad one to watch. And then you got, this is World of Tank Blitz. This is the Swedish tank line, which I like, by the way. But yes, this channel, we have a lot of stuff on there. A lot of stuff is very helpful. You got networking, you have everything in the smartwatch. I should do one on the smart lights. Turning the house in smart control and have HG control the house and manage the house. By the way, HG is running much better. That's Google. And you go, hey, Google. Oops. I don't want to say it because she'll activate. But, hey, Google. You there? Hey, Google. Hey, Google. Hey, Google. Now she don't want to talk. Hey, Google, are you there?
Hello there. How can I be of service?
See how responsive she is? But I don't have the new one that has Google Nest. She's supposed to have 3 speakers. She's supposed to be able to hear you. But maybe it'd be better if you just run an amp and have a speaker microphone and just talk to her that way. Save yourself some time. Or wireless control and just say, hey, can you hear me? Sure, I can hear you. But if these things are on clearance, then you pick them up. There's one from Samsung. It has a little bit. It's like the Google Mini, on the Google Nest. That's what it's based on. It has a little TV screen on it. I think Walmart was selling it cheap. I missed that deal. So you have a little screen, so when she talks to you, it animates. If you're into that, it gives an added touch to all that. Otherwise, she's just a box. I just hope Google will support it without trying to force you to get the Nest version, because that'd be pretty rough. Yeah, smart home, controlling the lights, fans, because I can say, hey Google, turn on the master bedroom fan.
Okay, turning the master fan on.
You see? So the fan comes on. And I can control the lights. Hey Google, turn on the master bedroom lights and set it to blue.
Alright, turning 2 lights on.
Hey Google, set the master bedroom lights to blue. Hey Google, set the master bedroom lights to blue.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Ah. Hey Google, master bedroom lights blue.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Hey Google, change the master bedroom lights to blue. Hey Google, set the master bedroom lights to blue.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Sometime it works, sometime it don't. So when I should have said, hey Google, turn off the master bedroom lights.
Sure, turning 2 lights on.
She's not able to control it. Ah, that's with a glitch in the system. So I can like this. Hey Google, turn off the master bedroom.
Sure, turning 5 things on.
Ah, she turned the TV on. Hey Google, turn off the master bedroom lights.
Got it, turning off 2 lights.
See, she turned off the lights. So the command would be, you would say the room's name and then tell it to change the color. And then the color would change. That's how I do it in the studio. That's the way. So that turned on the 4K TV because I have the on box from Android connected to that. But she can turn that TV on, turn on the kitchen TV, and turn this off in one command. If you say it correctly, it works like that. It works well. I like that because I didn't have that with the Alexa stuff. It would never work the way it's supposed to work. Alexa, it'll work if you bought Amazon's television systems, the Fire TVs. Then everything would work in sync. You see, but that's costly. So can't, not gonna go that way. All right, I better turn off the fan. You won't be able to hear me. Hey Google, turn off the master bedroom fan. Hey Google. Hey Google. Hey Google. See, not responding. Hey Google, turn off the master bedroom fan. Ah, messed up there.
Okay, turning off the master fan.
Yeah. Well, I live in a weird climate. It was cold, and then it was hot. It's crazy. Well, that just gives you a little idea what to expect. That is not. Remember, that's a work in progress. That's not 100%. Google always asks me, they contact, hey, did you just talk to your mini? Or actually, if you have one, they know I have one. And did it work? Did it do what you actually? Did it do or perform like it's supposed to? Well, yeah. They always want to know, do you trust Google 100%? Questions I ask. But they pay you. They give you money. They pay you, and it kind of adds up. But that money is only supposed to be used in the Google environment. You can't get cut a check for it. It won't work like that. That's how it works. Oh, what time is it? It's 4 in the afternoon. Well, anyway, my life is smart. Got the smartwatch. That watch that debuted on here. Um, it still works. It keeps track. Not only that it work, every time I upload files to my channels, it tells me how many more gigs it's gonna take. It keeps track. It monitors everything. Everything is monitored. It's mostly monitored through the phone, but it works perfectly. And you can control cameras. You can control media. It does a lot of things. It's not a bad device. Okay, okay. Did I cover everything I wanted to cover? Um, I'm on another channel and somebody asked a question. They want to upgrade their modem. Should they get? Is it crap? Oh, I can't even show you on this because I'm on this. They wanted to know if they can. They should they get the? It's D. I think it's DCOSIS. 3.0 or 3.1. Yeah. Well, if you want higher speeds, then you need 3.1. Okay. Uh, if you're gonna go that route, say you're gonna get rid of the cable TV, you have the right. Well, technically it's their equipment, but you can get the tool and you can open up the box, or you can make one with a fork. You know, open up the box and take all those cables out, and just have one hookup in there, and that's it. Your internet speeds would be a whole lot different. It'd be faster. Um, and then take the wire and get another box. You can get off eBay or whatever it is, and you make your own antenna system, and you like I do here. You know, I have all the lines going to the TVs in the house, and I have TV. Well, before the pandemic, with TV in the patio, but there's no TV in there now. TV in the kitchen, and everything. You know, I can cook and watch TV at the same time. That was the whole purpose. And people say, "Oh, do you have TV in your bathrooms?" No, I'm not gonna take a shower and watch TV at the same time. I mean, it could be done, but it's unnecessary. It's not a big thing. I'm telling you, one peace of mind. I don't want to watch TV. That's another hookup to deal with. That's all. Right now, I have an 8-way distributor, power distributor. That's power over that's PoE over C, power over coax. Yeah, yes, PoE power over Ethernet. So it's PoC. I have that rigged up. I built that myself. It's out there. I have two separate antennas. One points south, and you pick up the south market city down there. That's 40-mile range, and then another antenna pointed north, 40-mile range. I had to get a digital map to see where the antennas were exactly in which way the signal was coming in. So I just pinpoint that and lock it in. And I wired up the whole thing myself. Periodically, I have to go and check up with the antennas because the heat and the sun, might tear up the ties. I think the ties will start to fail. I'll need to strap it up. Make sure no bird mess up the aerial by sitting on there. But a large bird will kind of screw up that. But so far so good. Once a month on the OTA, which is over the air signal, we're getting 1080i and getting 5.1 Dolby Digital Plus. Will kick on if done correctly. It's able to handle 4K, as all HDs are able to handle 4K. Remember, don't let them fool you. So you're supposed to run your set digital tuning to pick up the digital channels. But I can give you a demonstration of that. Let's see. This is it.
Source selection menu open. HDMI 3. Source selection menu close. Sound. Setup. Sound. Setup. Menu language. English.
Español. Oh, I
English.
I didn't even know she could speak. Anything else she can speak? Español.
Français.
Français. Bonsoir, mademoiselle. What else can you speak? That's it.
English. Français.
Bonsoir. What else can she do? She just did it.
English.
I know she went Spanish a while ago. What happened? The batteries. Doesn't matter. But she did Spanish for a little bit. Let me see something. I want to see.
Setup.
Oh, I know why. I'd have to go into channel mode. Let me see if I can get up there.
Main menu close. HDMI 3. 3840X2 16060HZ.
But anyway, I had to get out of the modem in there. This TV set came with 4 HDMI ports. And that's another hassle too, because with 4K, it was very hard with the Amazon system. It would never go 4K. It said, well, you don't have enough It's BS. It's their thing wasn't working. All that money up for that stuff, crazy. Anyway, oh, I gotta go. We're after 40 minutes. Hey, thanks for watching. Okay. All right. Hey, and support the channel by subscribing. Hope you learn a lot on this one. So once a week we'll have this. If I have anything else to talk about, I'll explain to you. If you have any questions, ask. Don't forget to get your super anti-spyware for free. And that's free updates too, by the way. You'll learn a lot from me. I'm good at what I do. Okay. Support the channel by subscribing. Take care now. Bye.